I'm Ryan Fightmaster. In 2022, I left medicine to find fulfillment because I couldn't find it while being a doctor. Today, I break down how two separate depressions I experienced, one in medical school and one during residency, helped me build a life I love and own today. The first depression I experienced occurred during third year of medical school. Timing-wise, it was pretty confusing because I just scored in the 90th percentile on step 1. I was making honors in most of the courses. I'd even appeared on the Dr. Oz show. I was tracking to land a residency program of my choice, but I lost who I was because the sacrifice and commitment required to go get those grades, to go get those honors, wasn't actually worth it to me. So, midway into my third year, the year notable for 60-hour work weeks in the hospital and more studying at night, every night, I became depressed and resentful toward everything. When I went to medical school, I figured that I could forego what I wanted, do something I didn't want to do, and it would still somehow magically be okay. Third year of medical school was where that assumption began to crack, where it needed to crack. Still not quite ready to pull the parachute on medicine, I did take steps toward owning and building a future that I wanted because I did not want to feel that way again. I boldly went after psychiatry residency programs on the coast, near surfable locales, because that's what I actually wanted at the time. And I went after a residency selection in psychiatry that aligned with my interests, and it was the residency that I thought best fitted who I was and my values. Slowly, I began to understand something. It is only my responsibility to build my happiness. And there are actually things I can do about that. It sounds completely ridiculous that I didn't understand that yet, but that's where I was. That was the situation. It had not yet occurred to me that I didn't have to do things. I ended up getting a residency slot in California where I could surf. Was surfing the cure? No, because if it was, I wouldn't be making this video. The second depression occurred during intern year, where again, the rubber met the road. I had long hours in the hospital, way too much time doing what I didn't want to do, blah, blah, blah. Same story, different place. This time, the main difference was the setting. I was in the destination that I had designed for 4 years of medical school, doing what I wanted, surfing, and I still wasn't happy. So this got me thinking, I'd run out of pipe dreams. There were no residencies out there on the horizon as mirages. Just me and a plan built upon a failed assumption. I can do something I do not want to do and still be happy. I fully manifested my plan, and here I was, again, depressed. And I had no idea how to fix it. Thus, I was forced into a choice. Continue doing what I was doing and risk another depression in the future, or go get some help. By second year of residency, I went to therapy, which after 4 more years of repeated lessons and micro changes, I arrived at the life I have now, today. The pearl of that second depression ended up being more foundational. I cannot do things I don't want to do and be okay anymore. Over my 4 years of psychiatry training, I found myself thinking a lot about the paradox of depression treatment. We try to put depression into remission. We try to prevent depression. We try to get rid of it as soon as possible. And I'm not saying that that's not a good idea, because I think depression treatment is critical and should be aggressive. And at the same time, I think about the 2 depressions that I experienced and where I am now, and it's really hard to imagine me sitting here if I wouldn't have gone through those very necessary depressions, felt the pain they caused, and then had to change. These episodes for me were an opportunity. They became an opportunity because I had access to therapy. Not something that everybody has, and I'm very fortunate to have had that opportunity. One more caveat. These lessons described here today took years of therapy to be able to understand. I would not have enjoyed the message, "This is all for your good," right in the middle of those episodes, because it was never that simple. It required me understanding my life, how it had unfolded, and opening up areas of forgiveness to myself and to other people who were inside of my life, which all of that began with understanding and many unnameable processes that I still don't completely understand. And at the end of the day, this is just my view of how depression has impacted my journey. If you're going through something and need support, the National Suicide Hotline, 988, is a fantastic outreach program for resources. Asking for help was a huge part of my journey. This is not healthcare advice. My video today is not intended to provide diagnosis, treatment, or medical advice. Please consult with your physician or other healthcare professional regarding any medical or health-related diagnosis or treatment options.